So in January 2026, the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment, in partnership with the Department of Climate, Energy and Environment, published a paper entitled Large Energy Action Plan with the acronym LEAP. And this is going to be a really important document and framework for Ireland going forward in how it uses energy for large energy users. I just really wanted to highlight some of the key points from the report and also to say where we're going to go after this. Firstly, I really wanted to highlight some of the key numbers. So in Ireland, we are a bit of an outlier in terms of large energy users, in terms of the data centre sector. In percentage terms, according to CSO data, we use around 21-22% of our electricity demand goes to that sector. The IEA highlighted that we are currently have about 2.2 gigawatts of capacity installed of data centres and another 1.9 gigawatts in the queue. And all of that results in by 2030 we could have 30% of our electricity demand could be going to the data centre sector. But this report is not just specifically around data centres, it also calls out the semiconductors and life sciences, which both say will need kind of forward planning in order to deliver them going forward. One of the main things I took from the paper is how difficult it is going to be implementing this policy. Many in the data centre sector met the report with fanfare, but just say if you needed 100 megawatts of data centre capacity, you will need, say, about 300 megawatts of renewables to deliver that. So people in the renewable sector will tell you how difficult it is to achieve that volume of development, and the onus is on that the assets will be new and additional. There will also be a kind of focus on locations from the CRU connection policy decision. It also highlights that the SO, the system operator, must highlight areas that are suitable for development as part of a plan-led approach. So the onus is on the government in breaking down the barriers for delivery of infrastructures, and you get to see the complications when they try to plan with complex moving targets around demand, generation and planning. In essence, it's really like kind of a game of top trumps in terms of which regulatory paper is going to come out on top. You have the energy security, you have the roadmap for decarbonisation, you have powering prosperity, you have the national planning framework with the accelerating infrastructure, and you have the national energy demand strategy, all mentioned in this report. So which one of those strategy works out or which one wins out is going to be really interesting to see. So what are the main things in terms of timelines? What's going to happen in 2026? The plan is what it's going to achieve in the coming years, but there's a big focus on innovation in the paper. Real-time pricing is mentioned, and flexibility of demand assets, which are really laudable. There's also going to be kind of roundtable discussions with a focus on the data centre, and this is going to be led by the Taoiseach's office, so it just highlights how important they see this work stream. The key milestones in 2030 are kind of set out out to 2030 are set out in the graphic there, but this may not solve all the problems, but gives the industry the certainty it needs going forward. What I would be really interested in is watching out for actions 2 and 7, which are focused on energy system planning. The SO, the system operator, air grid and gas networks are to highlight areas for future development by March 26 to the CRU. So that's really a sector to watch really closely in the next month. I really think this is a really worthy endeavour. We need this infrastructure within the country to prosper, but it is only going to succeed with more generation, more grid and better coordination across the systems.